Hi guys, I've just seen a video idea on a thing called vidIQ on the internet, and it just said there's a suggested search term for my channel on how the Chimp Paradox can change your life, how to change your life with the Chimp Paradox. So I just thought I'm just going to switch the camera on and just give a full-blown version of how I think that the Chimp Paradox can change your life. So first of all, the important step is to understand the model to start with, because I didn't understand it. I didn't know that my mind was controlling me to start with until I decided to try to train the way that I thought to see if I could get different feelings, actions and results. And then once I understood that part of the brain that was trying to take me over, then I learned to watch it in action. Because that's the first way that you're going to change your life. You're going to be able to see when that primitive chimp part of the brain starts to take you over on a regular basis, and understand how it's preventing you doing things that you really could or should be doing. And that's the first method to understand it and to apply some of the principles in the Chimp Paradox, like the NEAT method. N-E-A-T, normal. It's a normal reaction. Everybody's got a chimp. Expect it to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to try and take you over. It's a primitive system within us, what we've inherited in the womb. So it's going to happen every day. And when it does, accept it. Accept it's happened. Sometimes it will take you over. It's a defense mechanism. It's there to try to protect you. And then when it does take you over, and if you do offend anybody by acting like a chimp, then take care of it. Apologize to them, or don't dwell on the situations. If you didn't involve anybody else, but you realize that the chimp prevented you from doing something, then take care of it by not dwelling on it, and just admit that the chimp took you over at that point, and learn from that point and move forwards. And when that happens again, don't let it take you over that second time. And it may take numerous times of repeating it until you get used to managing this part of your mind that is holding you back. So that's the first step. That's how we can first change your life. And I've talked to some people recently, some people who I'm teaching to drive, and I've just mentioned it in passing, and it's really started to help them. I'm starting to get some positive feedback off them, how they realise that this part of the brain is not making life easy for them. It makes it quite difficult, because when you're trying to live in a society with other people around you and you're acting like a wild beast, then life can't be that quite easy. Now, you do have to understand that this chimp within you has powerful drives, and they have to be satisfied to an extent, because this is within your genes. So you have to learn those drives and learn when those drives need to be, can I say satisfied really, but they need to be addressed, because they could have a territorial drive. People are very territorial. Can have a food drive. Then obviously this is a very common with a lot of people. The food drive takes over, and particularly at bedtime with I know my chimp Clyde, he likes to dive in the fridge just before I go to bed, so I have to really try and monitor that, so they've eaten too much just before bedtime. And there's various other drives, so you have to learn the drives of your chimp, learn about your chimp, watch the way it's taking over your mind, and once you get to that stage, then you'll definitely be in a better place. That would definitely change your life, just by doing something and monitoring and learning how that part of your brain is taking you over. Once you do that, then you can actually see it within other people, because you can understand when they are talking to you from their chimp or when they're talking to you from their computer. Now, here we go on to the computer part of the brain. This is the most powerful part, and if you can program this properly, then this will run your life. Now, what you have to remember is that when your chimp is getting all the information from your senses, it's what you see, you hear, you taste. There's a little bit of a debate on that one, but definitely what you see and hear goes straight to the chimp, and then the chimp for a moment just looks into the computer to assess that information, to see if we've encountered those situations before. And when it looks into that computer, it takes directions out of the computer. And that part of your brain needs to be programmed correctly. And this is the next stage. Once you've got the chimp, you're aware of your chimp and you manage it to an extent, then you can start to program the computer so that when it does look into that computer, there is something there that will direct the chimp. Because if there's nothing there, if you get information from the outside world, like somebody looking at you, somebody staring at you, or something like that, for an example, and the chimp looks into the computer and there's nothing there for guidance for it, then it will just take over and run your life as a chimp in the jungle would. So it's important to get that computer installed and programmed correctly, and that will be your next step, which would definitely help the Chimp Paradox to change your life. Because what you need to do in that computer, there are various things. It's where your values in life are stored. So you have to really sort your values out. You have to look and understand what you really want out of life, what excites you in life, what would you really like to do, what makes you happy. And you have to get those values down and state them on something physical, something called a physical stone of life, really. Even if you just write them out. I've seen people say, oh, I've done my stone of life, and it's just a list of sentences, and it needs to be something more than that. Because when I created it, when I went on the Chimp Paradox Stone of Life course, I actually drew it on a good piece of card, and I listed down the values down one side, and I actually drew pictures alongside which create the values, and that's what I've encouraged some people to do who have helped to construct their stone of life, and definitely by drawing a picture down to associate with those words. And then when I ask them what that picture is, I get quite a varied, unexpected, shall I say, reactions from what the picture represents, and I can definitely dig a little bit deeper and get more of the reasoning of the why you want those values, because that's what you're trying to get down to. Why have you chose those values? What do they mean to you? And why have you put them on there? And why have you drawn that diagram to associate with that? So this is something I'll go through in a bit of detail in another video, to how to actually construct your stone life. Because once you really do get that in place, that is the big life changer for me, because you start acting differently. When you understand what your values are, what you really want out of life, then when the chimp looks into there, when you get a situation in life that I wanted to learn to run at 50 years old and physically obese. Obviously Clyde, my chimp, didn't want that, but for some reason I wanted it. Once I found out the why because I wanted to be fitter, to enjoy life better, then I installed that onto the computer. When Clyde looked into there, then he wasn't so powerful as to stop me, because the computer runs at times 20. It runs much faster than the chimp, and that's what can run your life. And if you set it up properly, it will run your life completely, because you won't get stressed, because the chimp will be looking into there, and the computer will, if you have to install programs in there as well, but called the truths of life. You have to, Steve Peters really helped me when I was thinking about my truths of life, because he said on his stone of life, he put the life's not fair, the goalposts move. And just those two things, if you live by those two things every day, and you realise that life isn't fair, and whatever you're setting out, the goalpost can continually move, very little will upset you then. Because your chimp, if you're expecting something to happen and it doesn't quite happen the way you wanted it to, and if your chimp if you haven't got these installed on your computer, and your chimp looks into the computer when the situation doesn't work, then it'll run riot, really. Because you'll be blaming why hasn't this happened like I wanted it to. But if it looks into then life isn't fair, then it'll be much more calmer and allow you to sort the situation out. So those are the real things that the way the Chimp Paradox can change your life. Definitely creating a stone of life, getting your values, your truths, and also another thing that you need to on there is your life force, which is an exercise you do in the Chimp Paradox where you actually realise what you should be doing with your life. And if you go through that exercise and have that implanted on your computer as well, then things will really start to change then. I can absolutely guarantee it. There's other aspects of the Chimp Paradox, really, and this is to understand where the blood flows in your mind. Because when you get annoyed, this was the first time, it's actually 10 years to go to this day, December the 13th, 2012, I went to Wortley Hall in Yorkshire. So this is the 10th anniversary of me attending Chimp Paradox events after I read the book. And on this day, 10 years ago, they taught me that the blood once it started flowing to the chimp part of the brain, it was very difficult to stop it going there, and then you would gradually, should we call it, deteriorate into a chimp-like manner. But if you can learn where that blood is flowing and when it's flowing, just pause it for a second and just halt your thinking. It gives chance for the blood to stop going to the chimp and flow to the human, the more reasoning part of your brain. That was a big tip for me. So that can change your life drastically. That's why I've been mentioning to some people lately, if they can just hold their thoughts and just imagine a stop button in the head and just stop the flow of the chimp, that will definitely help change your life without a shadow of a doubt. That simple one chimp paradox method will help you change your life, because you just slow your thinking down. You'll reason out situations more. You won't be losing your temper. You won't be speaking irrationally to people. You'll be much more relaxed in company, and that can definitely lead to a happier life. And then the other thing is to definitely, so those are the biggest tips I can give you for changing your life with the chimp paradox. I have done it myself, as many people know. I'm now helping quite a few other people do it. Because really, I say, if you would like me to help you, I would. But the reason why I want to do it is because on my stone of life, one of my greatest values in life is helping other people, and that's what I really enjoy doing. I get the greatest feeling of helping somebody change their thought, well, helping them in anything in life really, but when they really want to change their thoughts and their feelings, to see that reaction in somebody is the greatest pleasure I can get. So I really do enjoy that. And if you do want any help, if you'd like me to do some videos on any other part of the chimp paradox, then please let me know, because I can do them. If you just leave in the comments below, I will do that. I will be doing a few more specific ones on different chapters in the chimp paradox, and I also definitely want to do one on how to construct the stone of life for your computer, because that is definitely the most important thing of the whole chimp paradox. And you can really change your life by using the chimp paradox, by, as I said earlier, understanding the way your mind's working, and then creating a visual stone of life. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you'd like to check any of my other videos out, just have a click on those above, and I'll make some more for you soon. Cheers.